Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Trains in World 5 video. We are back on Northern Trans Pennine. You join us at Mirfield Station, or beside Mirfield Station, and we are in the Class 40, which does exist within Trains in World. It's just quite sort of hidden away within the BR Heavy Freight Pack. So let's get in and let's get the train set up. It's been an awfully long time since we've driven this train. As I think originally it didn't really work on TSW5 correctly. Right, let's stick the key on. Key on, so that's engine only. Safety systems, what we got? Also our brakes are an air pass at the moment. We should be having air goods. We are a Class 7 train as well. You don't get many Class 7s on Train Sim World, which means our top speed is only 45 miles per hour. Yeah, we're going to change the brake mode as well. Air brake goods, I believe it should be. There you go, air goods. Right, let's get sat back down. Get the brakes off. I'll get those ones off. Now we've got the T-tankers behind us. But yeah, here's the 40. It's a long old load. I mean, look at that. It proper stretches back. Yeah, it's probably a train a lot of you probably have never seen or never driven before on the game. It is quite sort of hidden away within the game. And yeah, these are the T-tankers, the original T-tankers in the game. Cool. Right, brakes are coming off. We'll set that to forward. We'll apply a little bit of power. See, the HUD, as this is an old route, it actually says we can go up to 80. We're not going to go up to 80. Yeah, we're Class 7, so 45 miles per hour max speed. There we go. We got the domino lights on the front as well. It's a good sounding loco. I'll be quiet. Off it goes. I don't think it's as powerful as the 45, because you can run these on the passenger services as like a substitute, but you always then end up late, so they're not sort of as fast as the 45s power wise. I'm not sure if they're more powerful or not. I want to say these are weaker, but I've got a feeling these are probably actually stronger. They're just slower. Let's get back in. Yeah, only up to 45 on this run. Let's have a look. How much do we weigh? We are 426 tonnes, so I think these are probably empties. I don't think there's any fuel in them. Actually, can we open them up? Some of these you can sort of open them up. Hang on, yeah, here. Can we open it? No, you can't open it. Some of the US ones you can open it up. Cool. Yeah, very dark. This is a Train Sim World. What would it be? Yeah, just a Train Sim World DLC. So it's quite an old one. Hence the reason why I think it's just dark and dreary and yeah, not that nice to look at. So on the fast bit of Northern Trans Pennine at the moment. Basically the one sort of quad track mainline part of it. And in a second we'll be heading off to the left, which then takes us down towards Huddersfield. We're going as far as Staley Bridge on this service. Cool. Yeah, hopefully it's all looking and sounding fine. Hopefully the webcam's not laggy either. I think just on the OBS, sort of when I monitor it, it just looks a bit laggy, but it's fine. That's the way it comes out on my replay. Down we go. So that goes off somewhere else. I think one way goes to Wakefield, I know that for sure. And then we're sort of on the line down to Huddersfield, so we'll pass through Dayton Station, which is quite a cool little station with wooden platforms. I doubt it has wooden platforms nowadays, as this route is set in 1982. So this route has changed quite a lot in real life. In fact, there is actually a modern version of this route on Train Sim Classic. Mirfield Station has like another platform. There's like a whole other station on here. Yeah, it's quite different and faster as well. Again, we can only go 45 miles per hour, which is a little slow, but that's what it's restricting us to. Here in the Whistler, as this one's known as. Cool. As you can get two versions of the T-tankers in this game. You've got the sort of 80s ones, part of the BR Heavy Freight Pack, and then you've also got Cargo Line Volume 1. So when Cargo Line Volume 1 first come out, people were a bit like, hang on, what's going on? Because, well, we were getting the T-tankers again. Yeah, this is the 80s BR Heavy Freight Pack. A decent DLC. It does have quite a bit of gameplay to Northern Trans Pennine, which Northern Trans Pennine itself, you don't have any freight services. So by getting the BR Heavy Freight Pack, you get the 08, the 40, and well, all of the freight stock, which is nice. This is Dayton Station. So you got a stopping service coming in. Would like to do one of those at some point. A 101 on here, but they are long old runs though. Let's get a little shot here. Out right in front of the collectible as well. Yeah, let's get a little shot here of the 40 passing by the stopping service. We get one of our different style thumbnails as well. One like that as well. Just sort of testing different thumbnails. Because on YouTube you can have up to 3 thumbnails, and it like tests them for you. So we sort of just get a few little shots, different styles. Yeah, you may have never seen. You might never know this locomotive's in the game, because yeah, it doesn't really. Well, it's hidden away, as in the title of the DLC isn't Class 40, like the Class 33, Class 52. It's actually BR Heavy Freight Pack, which isn't really a well. Sort of doesn't get shown off much, doesn't get promoted much, and you have to have Northern Trans Pennine, so one of the less popular DLCs nowadays. So it won't be too far to Huddersfield. I think through there we have to go about 15 miles an hour, depending on what track we go through. But it's quite slow into Huddersfield. And it's all the way up the hill to Standedge, through the tunnel, and downhill to Staley Bridge. Which, I mean, coming out the other side of the tunnel, that's when we have to start paying attention to our speed, as we'll be going downhill after Standedge Tunnel. Let's take that off. We'll get the brakes on. Let that sort of come down slowly. What does it say the max speed of the 40 is? 90 miles an hour. So they go quite quick, these ones. Yeah, not too slow then. It's a pretty nice looking loco. I think it's slightly height wise it's lower than the 45s, but it's longer. Well, it seems that way. And there's Huddersfield we're coming around into. So I wonder what track it's going to take us through. I mean, that's for a freight service, maybe straight through the middle. We've got the speed's come right down now, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But it is, yeah, it's quite slow through here, I believe. You can tell this route's getting old though, it does look a bit dated now. I mean, sort of the background or sort of the distance scenery isn't really that great. The hills don't look brilliant. I mean, even sort of here it doesn't look fantastic, does it? But this was an old TSW route, so, you know. Yeah, one of the old ones. But I mean, if a route came out like this nowadays, it'll be like, nah. What's happened? Here we are, Huddersfield, it's 40, but I doubt it's going to stay at 40. I can see a 15 coming up. So that probably will be for us. And I think if it looks like we're going through the middle as well. So it might just stay at 15. But it's definitely 10 if you're going into the platform. Pretty certain. Yeah, 15. As we go through Huddersfield, which tends to be a hive of activity, although we seem to have caught it at a slightly quiet time. Got the 08 in there and the vans you get on here as well. That is like the artwork for, hang on, let's quickly get a shot there actually, that's quite good. That sun is like perfectly positioned. Yeah, yeah, this is like the artwork for the BR Heavy Freight Pack. This. I think even for Northern Trans Pennine, the artwork is like of this. Sort of the yard here at Huddersfield. Yeah, at 10 miles an hour if you're going up there. So nice and steady through here. I think it's at about 36 minutes long, this service. Yeah, pretty nice station there. Well, there's not a lot going on. Usually you have like one of the terminating services in there. You might have one of the regional services, but no, it's completely dead here. Caught it at a very quiet time. And then straight into the tunnel. Which I think in real life there's now... Is there a pacer carriage to the left there? That's being converted into like a school or children's library, or there's some sort of railway carriage here. I think in real life on that, sort of in that gap there. I'll speed back up once we're clear, once we're all in the tunnel. You ready, assistant? It's gonna get dark. Or maybe not. Is it? No, yeah, is it getting dark now? There's a light. There's light coming from somewhere. No, is it? Yeah. No, it's still light in here. Ish. Well, the light's coming from somewhere. Maybe the air goods indicator is illuminating on the cab, or the AWR sunflower. And, well, as this is the 80s, you don't really have any headlights. It's just route indicators. But from a distance you can see two whites, so you know the train's travelling towards you. That's really all they're for. Literally in the title of them, route indicators, indicating what sort of way you're going. Not very good for illuminating the track ahead of you. I'd imagine we probably can speed up now. I think that's probably enough time to allow the back of the train to come over those points. We weren't that long on the train. Cool. I think there goes the line to Sheffield, which is the Penistone line. That goes off there to the left. That's on Train Sim Classic. I think it has a workshop route. So we could eventually one day go down there on TSC. I think it goes round there onto a viaduct, I think. Have a little cheeky look. Yeah, onto a viaduct. Straight out of there. So there's not really much point having... Oh, it is dark. It's dark in this tunnel. But in the big tunnel it wasn't dark. Turn the lights. Out we go. Oh, there's a good view of the viaduct there. Nice weathering though on this train. It does look very sort of worn out. Dirty, mucky. So it's a 45 and leave it at that. As we now climb up to Marsden. And there is a station on here called Slaveway. Now someone put in the comments that you actually pronounce it as, I think, Slawit? Slawit? Slaywit? Potentially, that's how you pronounce Slaveway. Yeah, Slawit or Slaywit. Let's get another little flyby shot. Let's pretend that we're down here watching the trains. Nice. Now the game actually isn't restricting us to 45 miles an hour, so if we go 46, 47, we're not going to get deducted points. But on some of the newer stuff, it sort of restricts you, and you will get points deducted if you care about points on the game. Let's get one more flyby shot for now, for the next 30 seconds. Let's get one going over the viaduct here. Still, I mean, it's still a pretty route, this one, and quite a challenging route as well. It's not an easy route. Like if you want a sort of a challenging, long journey, this is quite a good route for you. I mean, literally straight off the bat coming out of Manchester, you're straight onto like a really steep gradient. Like really steep gradient coming out of Manchester, Victoria, which is always sort of the first test. And you're climbing all the way up, then down, then back up again, then down into Leeds. So yeah, if you want sort of a challenging drive and a long drive, this is quite a good route for it. As the fast services on here take over an hour, and that's literally just Manchester, Huddersfield, Leeds in an hour. That's the express ones. And you get the sort of semi-fast ones, which I think do Manchester, Staley Bridge, Huddersfield, Dewsbury, and then Leeds. They're like the semi-fast ones. But I think all of them stop at Huddersfield. I don't think there's anything which passes through Huddersfield, freight-wise, no, passenger-wise. Yeah, I think they all stop at Huddersfield. And you get the post trains on here, or the mail trains, the post trains on here as well. And newspaper trains. So there's a good variety in the amount of services you get. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't probably pay full price for this route. Probably get it on the sale, as it's an old route. Get it on the sale, get the BR heavy freight pack with it, job done. Because I would say it's probably one of the, if you are getting this route, get the heavy freight pack with it. Because the heavy freight pack also does add in some passenger services as well. And for this route, you get the 47, the 45, and the 101. This was actually the first route we had the 101 on. Now it's like everywhere. It's climbing up to Marsden, and we go into Standedge Tunnel. And after that we then start going downhill. Downhill all the way into Staley Bridge. Which I think the timing of this service actually has factored in the way we can only go 45 miles an hour. So it's been about 21 minutes so far. So that's not too bad. And you also get two variants of this loco as well. You get the domino headlights on the front, and you also get the what are they, flip boards? I can't remember what the name is for them. Where basically they're just like circles, and you flap them down to get the light you want. I can't remember what they're called though. I thought we go in this one, this variant for this video. Which I assume is sort of the more updated version. So this is not Slaveway, Slowway, or Slowway? Which we're about to pass through. There's quite a little small stop, so if you're doing the if you're doing the 101, it's quite a tough stop to stop at, and it's on the gradient as well, which doesn't help. But the brightest tail light ever. Off it goes. So one of those hills, it might actually be that hill there, is the one we go under. The Standedge tunnel is blimmin' long tunnel. Very long tunnel. I mean, you can see it on the map quite clearly. I mean, there it is there. That straight line is the whole tunnel. Which, as opposed to the full route, wow, look at that. That actually is quite long. I mean, it's the same distance going through the tunnel as it is basically down to Staley Bridge. And then the same distance, going almost back to Huddersfield? Oh, there's another one there. What was on the front of that? Oh, that was a 40 as well. Another oil service. Yeah, so in comparison, it's quite a long tunnel. And then the other long tunnel is Morley Tunnel, which again you can see on the map quite clearly, sort of the big straight line there. So you get some big tunnels on this. And basically just Standedge and Morley, and then you get the ones near Huddersfield as well, which aren't as long. Well, in fact, they're baby tunnels as opposed to Standedge and Morley. But Standedge is the main tunnel on the route. Which is almost quite exciting going through it, because on this route it does mark sort of where the gradient flattens out. So it's almost like, oh, we're almost there, we're almost in the tunnel. And then you get to the tunnel out the other end and it's downhill. It's either 40 or 45 coming around into the tunnel as well. Then it goes up to 60 in the tunnel. Although again, we can only go 45 for this service. We're still climbing up the side of the valley. Up to Marsden. Which is like 1 or 2 peak time passenger services which terminate at Marsden. I think it's Leeds to Marsden, and then they go back to Leeds, and then they then perform the shuttle to Huddersfield and back all day. Good sounding loco though. And when it is sort of powering up, you do that sort of get that whistling sound, which I suppose is where it gets its name from. That was weird. It went red and then the position light signal turned on. How bizarre. Up we go, and yeah, that is the massive hill we're about to go under. I mean, a monumental tunnel, this one. This is Marsden Station. Got a semaphore signal here. There is one signal on this route. I've spattered it before. It's on the other side of, was it Morley Tunnel? Is that Morley Tunnel? It's either coming into Morley Tunnel or Standedge Tunnel, but there's no like warning signal for it. So it could literally just be red, and you don't have any heads up for it, which is like great. Yeah, it might be coming into Morley Tunnel actually. No, it is Standedge Tunnel. There's like no warning board for it, no warning signal for it. Then you got the canal there, which goes into its own tunnel. Down there, which runs alongside the railway tunnel. And then we go. Now in Standedge Tunnel. Let's get the cab light on. Just for your sake, as it does go on for quite a while. Quite a little bit of power as well. Get up to 45. We are in. Oh, we shall remain for a while. It'll literally always pass another train in this tunnel. Well, it looks like there's a train coming. What's that? Was that a 45? It's got the domino at the front. So it was, hang on, no, what is that? 47? What's passing? Generally have no idea. I didn't get any glimpse of that. I mean, it was one of the regional services. Didn't see actually what was on the front of that. Can you see it on here actually? Hang on. I always forget. Does it tell you what loco's on the front? No, it doesn't. I'm not sure. It looked like a 45, but could have been a 47. One of the two. Cool. It's just like, are we nearly there yet? That won't be a silly. It sort of deceives you, this game, because the end of the tunnel, which looks to be the end of the tunnel, it just keeps loading in and in and in. Because it's such a long tunnel and it's a straight line, you can see it loading in. Which is always a bit like, that's annoying. So it's like, where is the end of the tunnel? And I'm pretty certain there actually is some little inlets to this tunnel where you can like go down into the canal tunnel. And they're all sort of connected. So quite a cool little network of tunnels. And then you've also got the other two tunnels to the left hand side as we were coming in. Can't remember what those ones were for. Or were they some sort of wartime storage place? Let's have a look on Google now. Whilst we're literally just going through the tunnel for ages. Let's see. Standedge Tunnel. Standedge Tunnel. Closed tunnels. No. Let me try Standedge Tunnel in. 4 parallel tunnels. Oh, 3 are railway tunnels. Oh, okay. 3 of them are railway tunnels. Oh, well, apparently the other 2 tunnels are intact, just disused. Interesting. Now, one of them was single track, so that would be the narrow one. Then they did a double one, then did another one. Wow. But yeah, I suppose they're not used anymore. Yeah, 4 tunnels together. And I think that must be the end of the tunnel. That looks like the end of the tunnel. And from there it's then downhill into Standedge, Staley Bridge, however you want to say it. I wonder how long. Well, actually, I could have actually looked on Google how long it took to build this. Oh, that didn't sound healthy, did it? Should just be able to coast it now. Yeah, is it this one here? Yeah, one of those signals there has like no warning for it. Out we go. Let's see. So the canal tunnel first started construction in 1794. In 1811 it opened. That's blooming a long time, isn't it? It's 17 years to build just a canal tunnel, which is pretty sort of small. And it closed in 1943, then reopened in 2001. What about the railway tunnel? It was completed in 1848. Doesn't say how long it took to build though. Oh, hang on, we're heading down now, so let's get the brakes on a bit. Seeing if I can see when the railway tunnel started to be built. When was that one started to be built? No, apparently the canal tunnel was used to build the railway tunnel. Not as long. Not as long. I assume. Right, let's we've lost too much speed now. Oh, there is a warning for that signal back there. Maybe when I spattered it I wasn't paying attention. That was ages ago. That was when I think that was back in 2021 we went past that signal at danger. I remember it. It was streaming. So we got Greenfield and Mossley to pass through. That's a big power station. Then we go into Staley Bridge. That's got a tunnel as well. Forgot about that one. Yeah, you've got a fairly long tunnel there as well, or long-ish tunnel. But it's one of those routes where you go from one end to the other, and by the end you're like, that was good. Like I don't know, it almost feels good when you get to the other end of the route, because it's quite such a sort of a long route. And quite a challenging route. You get to the end and it's like, wow, we did it. So no, do recommend this route and the BR Heavy Freight Pack, but get it on a sale. Don't pay full price for it. Nowadays don't pay full price for it, because it is an old route. That's a good question though. To anyone who's new to playing TSW, sort of within the last year or two, have you got any of the sort of pre-2012 20 routes. I suppose they're probably just not really that attractive, are they, really? As opposed to all these new ones with all the new lighting and new bits and pieces. Sort of seeing the old routes, a bit like, what are they? Another shot here. It looked nice. Bit of rotation. It's for a bit too much rotation now. Oh, there's the first station. That's been 36 minutes now, so that's how long it said it would take. Well, I doubt we're going to get to Standedge within the next minute. Probably about 45 minutes. Well, I suppose the game that wasn't actually factoring in, we can only go 45. Have we got any other trains behind us? We do not. So no, we're not holding up anything. It'd be pretty scary going like 65. Well, actually, not in this, but say on the 80 miles an hour in this train with the oil behind you. Well, that's a bit quick. Maybe going what 60 or 65 as it is down here would feel a bit quick. Although fortunately we are empty for this run, so fairly straightforward. Come on, Greenfield, where are you? Hurry up. See, this feels like a long old trip. Nice Pennine scenery though. I wonder what whereabouts it's going to. I wonder what platform it's going to take us into Staley Bridge. Because I think you got the loop one and the through one. You also got a terminating platform there as well. I'll get past Greenfield first though, or Mosley. Whatever. I think it was Mosley the first one ahead. And then past the power station into the tunnel, and in that tunnel we'll slow down to 15. And yeah, then shoot out into, well not shoot out, but into Staley Bridge. The foliage, there's literally no foliage on this route near the track. Although saying that, quite a lot of sort of, if you look at a lot of old photos of sort of older lines, there wasn't really much foliage by the track side. Especially in the steam era, because it all got burnt away. I mean, you see it nowadays, you've got steam trains on the rail tours and they always set line-side fires off. So actually, back in the steam era, there wasn't actually much foliage next to the track, because it all just got burnt away. We've got the power station coming up. See in the distance, I would have been like one of the main employers of the town. And we'll then go into this is the first of the tunnels. And this one's only a little one. This one, is this the little tunnel? Yeah, there's a little one and there's the big one coming into Staley Bridge. You've got no eye adaptation on this route. It predates. I mean, this route was January 2019. You could actually pre-ordered this route when it first came out. Back in December. Actually, I can't remember if on PC it came out first. Because back then, DLCs came out on PC first, and then came out on console at a later date. sort of the first DLCs like West Somerset and Russia Ignored. They were sort of, it took about a month to get to console. And then we'll come down to 15 miles an hour once we get into the next tunnel. So it will drop down. Come on, tunnel. Once we're through there, we're then basically there. It's been a nice run, so thanks for me. If you have made it this far in the video, thanks for staying in. You are legends if you've made it this far. Got some power pylons there with non-existing power lines. Tunnel must be around this corner. Come on. There it is. There's the portal. And we'll start slowing down. Okay, this will take us all the way around into Staley Bridge, this tunnel. Which out the other end, it's 15, I think. 15 miles an hour. Should do. The brakes have come on quite nicely there. Got about 22 now. It might have actually overdone it there on the brakes. I only put them probably on about, what, 50%? 50-60%. Got a single yellow there. But the hardest train to drive on this route is probably the 101. As on there you've got the gears, which to get used to are a bit of a pain. Especially with the gradients on this route. Slowly the light. Come on, get us out of the tunnel. Still 15. X, reversible? That's what X usually means, reversible. Or might mean something different for Staley Bridge. Like in this instance, it looks like we're coming in some sort of good siding, so that's probably what it means. But usually when you see an X on an indicator, it's for reversible. Basically, you're going to be running on, say, the up line to go down. And here we are. Actually, I think this is where we started our last video on this route, when we did the oil run in the 45 to Huddersfield. At some point, we'll go down to Manchester and we'll go up to Leeds. Manchester's probably the more interesting way to go. Or is it? Well, Manchester Victoria Station's more interesting than Leeds. Move forward a bit further. Maybe we'll stream this at some point. And we're just do one of the regional runs from Manchester to Leeds. It's about an hour, 10 minutes. Because the line here splits. One way goes down to Stockport, I think. As on the Manchester Airport commuter route, you've got the line Heaton Norris Junction. I think that's where that one goes to. And if you go off to the right, it goes to Ashton Under Lyne, Park, Miles Platting, and then Manchester Victoria. There. Now we got to go 30. We got to go 13 yards. We got to move literally right up to the red signal because these old DLCs are silly. It won't accept us stopping there, even though we are perfectly in the siding. We got to go literally kiss the red signal. Happy? There we go. Cool. That was good. There we go. Well, that's it from me. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed it. Links to usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store, as well as affiliate link, UK departure boards, etc. Apart from that, see you all and take care. Bye, guys.